So, um, we would like to know how you would describe yourself, like in the beginning of your first year and the end of the final year of college, like the changes you went through.
So, good morning to all the first year students, especially. So, you want to call it, do you guys still call them fatsas?
Yes, we do, our fachas.
Okay. So, I hope the freshers, if they're not here, okay, if let them, I hope they'll get to listen to us from the recorded version.
Mm.
If they're here, well and good. So I would say that my first year was extremely difficult. Uh, See, I had also done pretty well in school. Then, like even in 11 and 12, I thought I was one of the very good student. Having topped the uh, Saint Edmunds College in Shillong, and I came. The difference in the environment. We were 32 of us. The way the many of my classmates, they were taught in their schools,
Mm.
and the way I was taught, things were extremely difficult. Since I studied physics, the concept that I thought I understood was somehow very kind of different, and whatever the teachers were teaching, it was extremely difficult to grasp. And to make things worse, the way they were speaking English, so it was extremely difficult for me to grasp. So it was not an easy life for me to start with in my first year. In fact, by the month of October or September end, our course started somewhere on 15th July. I wanted to withdraw. I came up to that counter, and I like fill up all the format for withdrawing my admission. I say, Chalo, I'm giving up this college. It's too frustrating. Then said, I'm going to prepare for IIT like many other people are doing. I was like, I'm giving up. But somehow or the other, when I inquired how much fund am I going to get refunded, they said, no, no, not even 50%. I say, okay, then let me as well continue. It was quite a funny decision, but uh, I think the decision not to withdraw was the best. And
Mm.
yes, life in my first year, I did not open up to anyone. I was scared of almost everyone. I did not understand anything in the class. S- Basically, the inhibition within me, scared of everyone around, thinking that, Armstrong, you are the worst lot in the class. No, there were no much senior whom we can rely on. So I think that was the most difficult part in my first year. There was one teacher from Assam, Dr. Bikram Fukan. I heard he left the college now. He, I think, left for some other university. So, of course, he helped me a lot. He used to invite me over coffee. That was like right after November something. He used to invite me over coffee to his residence. I used to have, coffee and food also sometimes. So he used to teach me physics. So that's how I slowly gained confidence.
Mm.
After December, the in the oh, next break, that means that is after the winter break, I slowly started gaining confidence, but I could not do very well in my first year because of all of this issue.
Going to the next question, we would like to know what kind of societies were you a part of? It can be any activities like sports, music,
Okay,
debates.
so in my second year, I said, Armstrong, by hiding yourself for so long, nothing would result out of it. So what I started doing, I enrolled myself in the this for the long distance marathon. So I was selected. I was a part of the college marathon team. Um, um, I don't know, at the university level, I think we came third or fourth, our college. Okay, so I ran marathon. Um, then I was regularly into debatings, and I used to go to almost all the neighboring college, including Miranda House and LSR, and then SRCC, then Daulat Ram, then Ramjas twice. So I think I got about 18 certificates or so. Hindu, yes, Hansraj. Not necessarily that I always win. Sometimes I get for interjection. Sometimes I get for, yes, debating. Sometimes we go for two, three, team as a debate for debate competition. So I was very much a part of that. And then, yes, and I was also very active in the college chapel. Uh, so, though I don't know how to sing this and that, but yes, being born from Northeast, you're one of the best when you mixed up with some people from the other parts of the country. So, I was very much there as a part of the college. Clement Rajkumar Sar, he was the college chaplain there. We were very close. So I would say by my second year, I was totally engrossed in all of these activities, and this lifted up my confidence. In fact, most of the pocket money used to come from going around debating and all of those activities. So I thoroughly started enjoying the college life in my second year. I still remember there was this one very good looking lady fell from Northeast, from Nagaland. Of course, he's a mix. Every guys in college used to try to reach out to her. So I had an opportunity to uh, run this three-legged race during Harmony. We won the show. We won the race. We were offered where was it? Lunch or dinner coupon. Okay, to go to some fancy restaurant in Gurgaon, I think. So of course, the concept of taking out on a date was too early that time. So we anyway went on a DTC bus, to uh, have lunch. No, it was lunch. Yeah, she was staying somewhere in Laspat Nagar, so she was not a razy. So I went out and then I came back. Um, Very late in the night, in sense that it was funny because I was taking such a long bus ride, so they drove me off at Hindu Rao Hospital, and then from there I came walking to
Wow.
college, and then I remember, I learned those route well because I used to run for marathon, right? So that route. So in fact, I was so tired, so I called one of those guys who were riding cycle along the side, like they take me to Stevens College. I remember that journey very well because I was like taking a cycle ride. So, well, I would say I had a fair share of uh, a good life in college. Then remember we went to Nainital uh, for Bible camp organized by the college chapel. So it, all of those are good, sweet memories, I would say.
Mm. Well, now even our cycle rickshaws are all battery operated.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, so circling back to the first question that we asked, you had mentioned that like the topics you studied were a bit different from the people you met in college, right? So that's also like an issue that the current students have been talking about as well, that um, the topics from the state board is somewhat different from the ones that are learned in like the central board. So um, did you ever have that feeling of like not being at par with like your classmates when you first joined college in terms of
See, Catherine, my issue was also like this. Not necessarily that the syllabus were different, but
mm.
the way these people were taught,
Oh,
especially physics. You know,
Huh.
they were see my some of my classmates comes from some of the finest schools, like many of you may be experiencing. So um, they think a lot. They are given time to, in their class they are given lots of room for creativity. But however, most of us comes from direct route learning, learn by heart type. Teachers will write down the exact equation. You follow every bit and steps of it.
Hmm.
It's same. If Ram's wife is Sita, for example. Okay, so teacher in our school would always teach us how to write this way. Sita is Ram's wife. Okay,
Okay.
Sita is Ram's wife. Oh, that is the only way you can write that answer.
Hmm.
However, you can reinvent this answer in many other ways. You can write Ram's wife is Sita's. However, in our schooling, we were basically taught that you can write only this way.
Yeah.
So when you study something, some physics like math and math and physics, you have to be able to think, reinvent, innovate.
Mm.
So all of those I was not used to. So it was extremely difficult. And some of the classmates that I had were like just a genius. They would just write IET exam, just cracked it, topped it. But since for the love of physics, they came. Okay, I had this. Just 2 weeks back, he texted me that he won an Young Indian Scientist Award. And out of 32 of us who passed out, I think 18 of them went straight to US and UK for their masters and PhD. So like that. So since I had those people of that caliber, it was extremely difficult for me to catch up. We're so used to teachers writing down everything on board, and if teachers doesn't write down, we cannot take it forward type. So it was a very difficult situation. So my advice to all of the new students who have joined all of this course. Any one of you doing math? You're doing?
Uh,
No?
No,
No?
it's Tauchila. There's a junior, both Kimi
Okay.
and Tauchila are first years. Yeah.
So the say for example in maths you have subject called real analysis. This is like for me such a it was such a stupid subject for me basically. You have to prove that this is X and this is Y type. Real analysis. Like, I mean, I was never used to thinking. For me, it looks so obvious. Why the hell should I prove that this is this? But you have to reimagine a way to bring that conclusion. So these are difficult subjects. So my advice to all of you is you have to change the way you study. So in my second year, I got to watch this movie second or year, or I don't remember exactly when was this. The Beautiful Mind came. I don't know this movie, na. This movie, I think I saw this movie. So The Beautiful Mind. I don't know if you have seen. Yeah. So in 2001 when this movie came out, I saw this movie called The Beautiful Mind. It was about John Nast, the uh, Nobel Prize winner in economics. There I started seeing how you should be studying. In that movie he would be able to fathom, he would be able to see equations being written on a board, on a door, on his, whatever that you see on his friend's ties. And I learned that, yeah, if you're studying like this, you know when you close your eyes you should be able to see what's written on the book. You should be able to imagine everything on your mind. I watched that movie, I think, at least 3, 4 times. After that, the way I started studying physics changed a lot. Then my second year, I did very well, 85% plus. I decided to write my out of 6 physics papers of my first year, I rewrote 4 papers again. I mean, I think three papers I rewrote again. The first year I was just getting what? Out of 50, I was just getting 28, 30. I landed up getting 45, 47, 45. So overall, I was able to pass out with over 75% in my graduation. So that's how, I would suggest the young Stephanians, don't give up. Yeah, you should find a way to study. So that's what I wanted to tell you.
Next, we'll talk about your famous title, Miracle Man. So, as we all know, I think we all know that your most notable achievement was the People's Road. So, we just wanted to know what inspired you to do that.
Um, mm, where should I start? See, all of us knows where you and I have come from. We come from. Some of you may be privileged enough to be born in, uh, say, if you are from Kohima, from Aizawl, from Imphal, life will be a little different. But for people like me who has come from a small village, you had basically seen life. I had come from a very small village. I had walked the road on foot many times over and over again. Um, so life was basically extremely difficult. So as a child growing up from that area, your dream is, I wish I can give a better life to the people there. I wish, the children coming back after me should get a better life. So when you get such an opportunity to work as an SDM, to work as an district magistrate, you're basically living your dreams. So as an IAS officer, as a young IAS officer at that time, way back in 2012, when I was just uh, 24, 25, you took up this challenge to walk to almost every village in your subdivision. I'm not one of those officers who love staying only in Imphal. I know many of you must be having your own relatives posted somewhere else, but deciding to stay only in the capital or even in your district headquarters. I'm sure many of you must be having a doctors who refuse to go and work in the hill areas. So I'm not one of those. I decided to tour every villages in my subdivision on foot, even if there was no motorable road. Then one fine day when we were conducting this general assembly meeting of 4 or 5 villages, where more than 30, where I think more than like 300, 400 people came, we all decided. I asked them, what should we do? They said, sir, we want you to help us construct a road so that it will link our subdivisional headquarters with the district headquarters and further beyond to connect a highway coming from Assam. And coming from Nagaland and going to Assam, and there is a good train station there. So it was a big challenge. I said, we do not have money for those big project. They say, sir, you're an IS officer. If you say that you don't know where the money is, how do you expect the villagers like us to know where the money is? So it was a big challenge. So I decided, chalo. I went down to the office in Imphal, met a few senior officials. They were explaining how Manipur usually get funds. We have to write a proposal to Delhi, then Delhi will sanction it. It takes about 4 or 5 years. And that also only if this project becomes a priority for the state. I come from a place where politically it might not be the most important because we are not so populated. We have only one MLA, for two subdivisions. So in all of the circumstances, the only question was, should I wait, not do anything because my tenure is only 1 year? No. Or should I do something? I chose the second one, that, Armstrong, whatever you can, let's do it. So I decided. I had few savings of 4 or 5 lakhs. I was in the revenue service earlier. So my family, all of us were working. in one way or the other. So we decided, let's pitch in. And then, I challenged this to the villagers, saying that, okay, we will do this, we will contribute this much. And all the villagers came forward. Women groups, they stood up and say, sir, we'll give you, 5,000 rupees. We have our self-help group savings. Some youths, they stood up and say, we'll go and do fishing in the river. We'll, make sure that all our workers gets good food to eat. Some people, one widow stood up and said, sir, I have nothing to give you in terms of money, but I can give firewoods to cook for those workers. So those are the type of contribution that came along that encouraged me, and the rest is history. And I'm glad to tell you that now this highway is already a national highway, 137. The government in 2020, when I came back as a district magistrate, I ran around to get this project declared as a national highway. The government has given 3,200 crores now. So, how I convinced my villagers? Those villagers, I said, if we have this road, you wait outside your house in a bus stand in your village, you pack a bag to go to Singapore. After 1 week, after touring Singapore for a week, you can come back on the same bus. It will drop you at the same bus stand.
I'm
So
getting goosebumps. It's
yeah,
so
so
nice.
that's how my villagers, more than like 21 villages, including those, all of those, they decided to give no objection certificate to construct this road. See, most of the development in Northeast, especially road construction, are facing problem because of land acquisition, because of compensation. People are asking, for a chicken coop, they're asking 10 lakh rupees. Okay, this is no different to a situation in Nagaland, Manipur, wherever, except for Mizoram, I don't know. So my people decided to come and say, we cannot wait one single day longer, because land compensation process is like at least 5 6 years. We cannot wait any longer. We will not take a single penny compensation. You just come and construct the road. So government say, okay, we'll come and construct you the road. We give you 3,200 crore to construct this road. So this highway construction is full swing.
That was such a great. I have no words. Like I was literally getting goosebumps while they were talking about it.
Mm.
Um, so you did make a change, and it certainly affected a lot of lives for the better. And sir, so you have received many prestigious awards, both national and international. And which amongst those would you say is closest to your heart, and why?
Well, see, a word come and go, but the recognition, the acknowledgement by the people lasts the longest, and that too from people uh, who actually love and care for you. So let me just mention one or two. So I remember, well, I was an BDO, block development officer, come SDO in Senapati. You know, they set up they set up an award to give, like, for the block that implements Narega fastest and does the best. So my block, at the challenge, at the end of about 6 months, my block came out the best. So I got 40,000 rupees there. I was so proud, and I was extremely happy. So that's one of them. And then that was like way back in 2011. And then, of course, in 2012 December, on the all boys reunion lunch, on the which we met recently, in 2012 St. Stephen's College honored me. They gave me a recognition, and this was handed to me by the then principal, Walson Tampu sir, and then one retired judge from college. So, and it was done in the presence of so many noted alumni. So I really treasured that. Of course, there are so many more that has come along as a recognition. Say, yeah, one of them being the Young Global Leaders. I was nominated to be the Young Global Leaders of the class of 2018 by the World Economic Forum. And then I was also invited to be one of the panels in the Davos World Economic Forum. So that's like where basically the world's policy were are discussed. So getting all of those privileges, I think these are something that money cannot buy, right? So I feel extremely glad that God has bestowed me few of these things. So I feel extremely honored.
So like you have a huge platform now, as we all know. So does your platform gives you the opportunity, or does it how do I put this make is it feasible for you to talk about the issues of the northeastern Indians and the region itself?
You mean my present platform, my present profession,
Yes, yes, present.
present posting? Okay. Yeah. So let me tell you the truth. I am basically a rural infrastructure, basic infrastructure, education, health, women upliftment. All of those are my passionate things. I burn with all of my heart yearns and burn for all of this. Now, when I suddenly got a posting here in Delhi, and that too, I was given a very, very different ministry. I was like, what will I do? That too, I'm looking after films in the country, films, movies, basically. I was thinking, what the hell will I do? When I'm a guy who hardly watch 5 movies in a year. So uh, then, of course, in the course of the various assignment that I come across, now it's basically getting very interesting. So I felt that, since I've worked in the rural areas for too long in Manipur, maybe God is giving me a time to see how the richest, the biggest, the mightiest in the countries are living their life. So basically, it's been a pleasure to be in this ministry. And, you know, I always think that, employment can only be generated uh, through education, through health, this and that. My way of thinking has been very conventional. Now, after getting into this, there's so many other platforms where our boys and girls, those people who are in those employable age, can get employment. So I now started looking things differently. For example, I have just through the approval of my higher authority in the ministry, we're starting a course for the northeastern children in the field of animation, visual effects, gamings. Okay, so this course is extremely expensive. It's like it runs into 4 lakh rupees per year per child, per say student. So we're making it absolutely free. We got like 6.36 crore from Autodex. It's one of the biggest software company in the world. Autodex is giving us 6.36 crores. My ministry is giving some money. We tie up all of this. We'll be selecting 100 graduates from all over northeastern states. We'll bring them to Delhi. We give them training. We fit them. We'll be providing a laptop worth 1,30,000, and will fit with a software worth 3,18,000 in their laptop, so that it's an 8 months course. After this, they should be able to get employment, in this sector, because there are so many production house that requires people to make animation, to make visual effects, to design gamings. The employment market in this scenario is so big that our boys and girls are not exploring this. So I'm introducing them to this. So the application will be out by Monday or Tuesday. So I'm looking for that. And into the movies making. So I used to think, what will I do? Now I see that there are so many. See, you have OTT platform today. The market is hungry for content, good content. So many stories from Northeast can be told. So I'm just now thinking of, running 2 3 months course in Manipur, Arunachal, whichever state is opening up to us. Just teach those unemployed boys and girls for 3 months how to hold camera, how to shoot photos, this and that, and start bringing those big production house. This big production house are reaching out to us and say, Armstrong, give us your script, give us the script. We'll love to go and do shooting. In this way, we're gonna have lots of employment. Imagine if 10 crore rupees budget is made in Northeast. Who are the people that will be benefited, right? And we are organizing Northeast Film Festival in Bombay, because if we organize it in Northeast, it's a little difficult for celebrities to come. So we'll first organize it in Bombay in the second week of March. We'll have lots of famous movie makers. We'll be introducing the Northeastern people. We'll bring them, let them stay in Bombay. We'll introduce them, bring an interface, a medium.
Mm.
So there are so many things which I believe we can do, even when I'm in this position. So that's like I'm trying to make myself useful to our Northeastern people. And yeah, lastly, my district called Tamenglong, which has never heard of all of this, we help organize a film festival for the tribals of Manipur in the month of January. So it was held successfully. My ministry gave some sanction. So they were surprised that such thing can happen. By
Yeah.
the way, we're
Um,
planning to set up like 3 4 theaters in Manipur. In One is in Senapati, one is in Churachandpur, one is in Ukrul, one is in Imphal. A theater, someone will come and invest all the money. You know, so we're doing planning to do that.
Yeah, in
yeah.
fact, when I went back home for the holidays, I saw a theater in Manipur. I was so shocked. I was like, we have a theater in Manipur? I was
Yeah,
really shocked.
no, those theaters are also there. They are little expensive. The
Yeah,
model of
exactly.
theater which I'm doing now is the ticket should be priced less than $100, or
Oh,
Oh,
maximum 100,
yeah.
maximum 150. You will get Subway, McDonald's, everything. It comes in a. I
oh
mean
my God.
that, and it should be an entertainment park. A kind of a movie. If it is launched in Delhi or in Bombay, first day, first show, people of Manipur will get to see it.
Yay.
So we're planning for that. And see,
Okay.
my interest is basically not only on this movie. For every theater that is set up, there will be 20 people getting jobs.
Oh,
So
yes.
I look at that perspective, right?
Time to fly back to Manipur, no?
I am going back home.
Yes, tell
Yeah.
me.
Right. As are those sound amazing. So, what do you think, like, according to you, would be like the qualities that help you achieve all these commendable heights in life?
Oh, see, Catherine, and to all of you, I don't say that I've achieved a lot. I have failed a lot. There's so many hurdles that I had to climb over, and then like there's so many more hurdles that keeps coming every now and then. And there are so many people who doesn't want me to go race further also. And there are so many things that I had done in the past, which may not necessarily had pleased everybody. So there are few court cases that still haunts me. All of those, I believe it's a part of life. Number one. Number two, the quality, if you ask me, is when you think of doing something, you know think of how would it impact the last man in the queue.
Mm.
You take up anything, I always feel that, how would it create a positive impact to the people around me? This has been always my first target. So that was the first question when I was given a film, this film division. And what will I do? Because India is going through unemployment, poverty, this and that. How will this film portfolio help me bring solution to this? So
Mm.
when I started thinking of bringing solution in all of this, I think your vision just appears. So this has always been the way forward for me. How to create positive impact to the people around me and to the people that matters to me. So this has always been there. The third thing is there are so many negative people around you, people who just wants to see you go down and down. There would be people who wants to see you die. Don't pay too much attention to them. If you start thinking too much negativity, you will just not be able to do anything. See, there are two types of people, even amongst all of us. The moment you mention some topic, one person will start thinking, what are the difficulties? you know uh, they will start talking about, oh, it is like this, it is like that. They're just pessimistic people. There are some people who will think of the fruit of success. If it is successful, how will it turn out? I have always been this optimistic person, and it makes it interesting. Because when you start thinking too much of the negatives or what are the hurdles that will come along as you start the journey, it doesn't give you encouragement to take it forward. I just give you a simple example. Two guys kept in a prison, shifted to a desert. In the night, the first guy went out and saw sands after sands. He was looking down, came back to his friend and said, buddy, we're doomed to die here in these sands. No one will even know that we die here. We died here. The second guy went out, saw the blue sky, he saw the stars and the moon, came back and told his friend, buddy, we're in the best possible place. We can see such a clear sky. You know, the moon and the stars that we see tonight, our wife and children must be watching the same and must be expecting for us to come back. And I expect to go back soon and join them to enjoy these clear nights. That's a difference in the mindset of the people. So I always have been a positive guy. And third thing is, despite whatever hardship that comes, because of poverty, because of this and that, I actually have never thought of giving up. So giving up is just not even an option. I always say whatever comes doesn't really matter. You just have to face straight on. And lastly, yes, God has been kind to me, and irrespective of whatever challenges that I have taken up, I always have been blessed. Even well in college, uh, finance was one of the most difficult thing. Many of the college friends you have are some from richest families in the countries. You know, Thursday, I don't know, Thursday and Tuesday, they don't give you non-veg. I remember I had this friend from Kerala, who would take me out to Kamlanagar, you know, very rich family, well-to-do Christian, eh? So, and also, sometimes he would just deposit my fees also, even without me knowing, and then he will just take me. I remember this is just like to add humor. Uh, One Pizza Hut chain opened in Kamla Nagar. Okay, so there was a scheme that by paying about 900 rupees, you can eat as much as you like. So me and I and him, we used to go very often. So this Pizza Hut shut down. Basically, this Pizza Hut, when we go there, we don't eat less than 10, right? So maybe they thought that, all right, people like him, people like these people are there, so it's no point running business. They shut down basically after like about 3 months, 4 months. So yeah, you meet people, good friends like them, to carry you along. To We still maintain the best of friendships even today. So it's always been a blessing, through God's blessing, we've been able to carry this forward. So that's how life has been.
Yes, I do agree with making some of the best friends in college, as I have some few ones of my own. Coming to the next is you have done leadership uh, courses from eminent universities. What is one advices that you would like to give us?
Um, yes. including Oxford, Harvard, and Nottingham Technological University. I've been able to do some of the leadership, futuristic leaderships course. So, well, it depends on which role that you fit in, but uh, most importantly, when you take decisions, you know, take decisions not only on predict the futures, but whatever had happened in the past, you take all of those, study the trend, how it has come about, and then you take decisions on that. So that is one thing I learned in one of the course in Harvard that I did. So it was very helpful because I also very impulsive. We take decisions assuming that our society is this and that without taking into account the precedents, the kind of data that is available with you. So that's one thing I learned. And when you take decisions, think from a bigger perspective. How far will it impact politically, socially, environmentally? You try to think of, if you start little initiatives, how far can it go? You just imagine it. The third thing is, take decision at the right time. Do not delay it too long. you know while trying to collect informations and data and knowledge about it, you are losing opportunity. Take decision that is best at that appropriate time, with all the information that is available to you at that time. You should be able to strike the right chord at the right time. You do not wait for too long. Many of the best opportunities are lost because leaders do not take decision at the right time.
Mm.
So these are the few things I think over the course of various courses that I did, I learned. And yes, the last thing is, learn to reach out. You know, learn to reach out. If you feel that you are stuck somewhere, learn to reach out. I mean, I'm also someone like who wants to do everything in my head, by myself. So I learned this course in Oxford. I was like, there was one course which was teaching us leadership based on the way we conduct music. So we were put some music. We were asked to like do lead the choir type. So I came out and then I was asked to do this. So I was doing this and that, whatever. So the music instructor said, Armstrong, why are you taking all the burdens on yourself? He did not know my background, huh? I was a district magistrate. Just imagine. He was saying, Armstrong, you have too many burdens on yourself. Lifted it up. So just imagine he can predict that from the way I conduct the music. So you should be able to reach out to the people around you. They may have, starting from farmers to scientists, if that policy has something to do with them, they may have certain point of view to contribute. So if you feel you're stuck up, learn to reach out. You know, that's one thing I learned.
Well, that is definitely something I need to learn as well.
Yes.
um, so, being from the Northeast, we all know that the Northeast is so rich in culture and it is so diverse in practices. But if you were to bring like the North, if we take it as a whole, if you were to bring like the Northeastern culture to the national and even maybe international stage, like what are the features you would showcase and how?
Well, I think we're doing pretty well in this. So now that I'm in this position, I think films is one of the best ways, irrespective of how many chapters you put in the school syllabus. I think it may not help, but people love watching movies. So, and it's like we're planning to create more kids content in this field, so that the children, they start just getting to see Northeastern people cultures and tradition right
Mm,
from their young age. That's one thing I'm definitely working on it. We're planning to select 10 personalities from Northeast, make an animated video series of 10 minutes each, and circulate to all the school in the country. So that's one we're planning to do. And Um, Well, I think we all are doing a little bit of whatever we can. You guys are doing great in college. I saw you guys, as and when you can, you wear traditional dress. Like I wear this, to office. I give this to some of my colleagues. They wear them, so they learn to appreciate all of this. And even my office sofas are covered with clothes from Manipur tradition. So as much as we can, we should all promote whatever we can in our own way. So I think that's one way to do that.
Yeah, I think so far you have given us like so many life advices. We're so grateful for that. But the thing is, like, imagine yourself a decade and 2 decades ago, and being a student of St. Stephen's again. What
Yes.
advice would you give to your younger self? And this is the most important question. I really wanted to ask
Uh,
this. What would you give advice to us who is going to graduate in 3 months? We're
okay.
so close. Yes.
So if I were still in my first year, I regretted a kind of losing 1 year, being to myself too much. You should learn to open up. Don't only mingle amongst the Northeastern people. You should learn to mingle with with the people from other parts of the country. So that's very important, which I did not do. Uh, second thing is, as you graduate, see, we all have certain desire that we want to do this in life. You know, I feel you should reinforce yourself. Seriously, sit down and think, why do you want to be doing this? Don't get into a boring job. If there are so many people in the IS who just have got into the IS just to get salary, not only IS, different other jobs. So I would not have enjoyed my life had I, been those people. I really wanted to be in the IS because I have a sense of purpose. I wanted to do this. My purpose was very, very clear. So I'm able to do that. So as you graduate in the next 3 months' time, I believe, of course, it is most important for you to do well in the exam. Um, but start thinking of where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years time, 10 years down the line. That's important. And how would you like to bring an impact to the people around you, as some of the principles that I just shared, by becoming this, how would it impact the people around you? So, if you want to be a singer, you know uh, you want to see yourself as a singer, going up to what level? You got to make certain plans. We should not aim to become a singer and end up only in our small town. That doesn't make much noise. So that's just my advice.
Right. Right. Thank you so much, sir. But before we let you go,
Ah,
we have this short round of a rapid fire round, as we call it. So we will be asking you like a bunch of questions, and you have to answer in like maybe a word or two,
okay.
and in quick
We'll
session.
make it quick, huh? We'll try to end this in
Yes,
three
it'll
minutes.
be
Two,
quick.
3 minutes.
Yes,
Yes.
let's go. So, what was your go-to cafe food or the Science Dhaba food?
Means
Uh,
mutton means you have in our that lemon nimbu pani and means in
uh,
our college cafe.
okay, so
Mohan ji was there.
next question: best spot in campus to take a break in between classes?
Art student will not like it, but the dhaba in front of the basketball court in near my
Um,
hostel Mook West.
hmm. So, what's your favorite dog or animal on campus?
I don't like dogs. I mean, there was a guy who literally used to sleep with dogs, so for
Oh,
me, it's a little dirty.
mm. What was your favorite paper from your syllabus?
In physics, well, so there were some teachers whom I could never understand, so those were things. But well, Oh, quantum mechanics was like, I don't really like it, and then the easiest one was basically that mechanics paper taught by Dr. Tarachan. I mean, no much thought process to be involved. Like you just directly write the answer and you get the whole solid mark. So that's easiest for me.
If you could go back to your time in college, which year would you travel back to?
Second year?
Great. Do you like having classes early in the morning?
No, I hate that. I always have to miss breakfast. I don't remember eating a single breakfast because I stayed in MOOC West. I mean, my physics, was just like 50 meters away, like physics section. So the choice was between like you have 8:15 class or 8:45 class. You wake up 10 minutes prior, you go for breakfast or you go for the class. So, I mean, even without brushing, most of us used to go to the class, come back, and after like two class, you have a small break, you come and like, such a present up, go back for the next class.
Okay, what type of student were you in college?
So I was like not very brightest students, but of course I was also not the worst. I'll just give you an example. So uh, in our third year we had this annual test. We have this annual test. So quantum mechanics paper, out of 50 marks, two guys got, one of them got 37, one of them got 36. The rest of us got below 10 marks.
Okay,
Okay, out of 50.
all right.
So only two guys basically passed. Basically, so all of us got below 10, and I got 7. So the lowest one was 2. So you can imagine. So I was not the best. I was not the worst, but yeah, I was among close to the worst type.
Oh, okay. Did you enjoy the morning assembly during the first year?
Um, Morning assembly. For the first 3 4 months, I did not so much, but yeah, by November, December, I think we did pretty well. I mean, it was okay. See, waking up is always a problem, so that comes along with it.
Okay, one word to describe St. Stephen's College.
It opens up your world to the rest of the world.
Great. Was Green Cafe your go-to spot like most of us, in case the Dhaba and Cafe weren't open?
What is that green cafe? We did not have that concept.
Oh, okay. It's a hot spot for us these
No,
days.
we just have that dhaba. That's all.
Okay,
We just
okay.
have that, near that Rudra South, the girls' hostel. After that, you have like that big banyan tree, and like you have that
Mhm.
college cafe. That's all.
All right. We are done with our rapid question.
Thank you so much, sir. We had such a fun time talking with you. And
Okay.
yeah, thank you for joining us.
So, all the best and do well, all of you. We're so proud of you all studying there, and please do well. Don't give up in between. Uh, Continue to sign for our region in different parts of the world. Okay. Bye bye.